Hey, how's your phone reaction been lately? I know, right? Middle of summer, it's the dog days. Listeners are out of their habits. A lot of them are on vacation. They're not paying nearly as much attention. They're spending less time in the car because they're not dropping their kids off at school and they're thinking about other things. Your phone calls are down. It's happening with almost every show I talk to. They're saying, man, the phone's not ringing. What are we going to do? Well, you don't just give up and say listeners would rather text and start putting a bunch of text messages on. Yes, it is harder than ever to attract listeners to call your show and go on the radio with you. But don't give up. There are several things that you can do, and I'm going to give you 3 tricks to get more phone calls right now. Number 1 is let them text, but turn those text messages into calls. Just because they text doesn't mean you have to put them on as a text. One thing you can do is message them back by text and say, listen, I'd love to put you on the air so you can tell your story and contribute to this. Can I call you back? Now, some of them will do it. Some of them won't. Some will say, nah, I really don't want to be on the air. They just wanted to contribute by text. That's okay. You only need a few people who say yes, and now you've got a pre-screened caller that you've taken care of by text, and you've got someone who might contribute to your show. Second trick is to put a caller on immediately when you set up a topic. Now, there's a human psychological condition that nobody wants to be first. Nobody wants to be the first in line outside of a club. Nobody wants to be first to sit down at a bar in a restaurant. Nobody wants to be the first to sit at a blackjack table in a casino. In fact, casinos hire people to go and sit at empty blackjack tables because of this condition. And nobody wants to be first to call a radio show. So when you set up a topic, if you can put a staged phone call from a ringer or a voice actor or somebody you know on the air as early as possible in that topic, it sends the signal that conversation is invited. It gives you a chance to give the phone number early, and you start a conversation and you break that ice. So your audience gets the message, it's okay to call, it's good to call, and that's how you want to communicate. So get a phone call on as early as you can in the segment. And number 3, announce the phone number. Give the phone number at least twice as much or 3 times as much as you give other methods of communicating with the show. I hear a lot of shows who say you can talk to us on Instagram or on Facebook, or you can send us a text message or send us an email, all of these things. And when it comes time to give the phone number, they rattle it off quickly and listeners can't remember it. So give it clearly, give it specifically, and emphasize call us and be a guest on the show. And I think you'll see your results start to increase. There are a lot more tips that are available in my seminar about how to get more phone calls. You can check that out on insidersradionetwork.com. Do a search there for phone calls. There are tons of resources that are available for you. And finally, don't obsess about how many calls are coming in. It's great when you see all the lines lit up, but really you only need a handful of calls that make your show better. Let them be guests that get more out of your conversation and your entertainment value, and use them to your advantage.